So then Ice Cube finally, because it took Ice Cube a lot to,
it was a diss track. Yeah.
No. The diss track didn't come till later.
No, I'm saying, but it was a diss track. It was a diss track.
It wasn't. No, he made a diss track, and he made the diss track strictly because of the person that they replaced him with. When he left NWA, when he finally left NWA, that's when they picked up MC Ren. And so MC Ren now was doing all the writing.
Okay, the stuff's...
You got the whole crew telling them, like, yo, Ice Cube was the one doing everything, boom, boom, boom. You basically got to live up to Ice Cube now.
That still kind of reminds me of what that kind of reminds me of what Tupac was doing with Death Row. That kind of reminds me of what Tupac was doing with Death Row. Nah,
Death Row's a totally... I can explain what happened with Tupac. There's more with Tupac behind a lot of shit that they don't really touch on. That I kind of know about with Tupac.
And a lot of people, get this shit wrong.
Hold on, let me finish telling you about what Ice Cube. So when Ice Cube finally left, Ren came in. They basically put a high standard on Ren because you got hits already out there, straight out of Compton. You know what I mean? For example, you got Dope Man. All of these songs that Ice Cube wrote that are classics. So MC Ren, we got to keep that going. You got to step your shit up. You got to be as good as Ice Cube. So Ren thought it was cool to get in there and be like, all right, I'm gonna prove that I'm better than Ice Cube, and he dissed Ice Cube. Once he dissed Ice Cube, that's when Ice Cube was like, all right, that's how y'all want to play, and that's when he made No Vaseline.
Oh, so
and that's what shut down. That's what shut down the whole shit. Yeah, Ice Cube retaliated. See, a lot of people didn't know about this shit about Ice Cube, so they was really like mad at Ice Cube. Oh, you're better than the NWA, so now you're dissing them. Oh, nah, they wasn't really seeing what was really going on. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes and all that shit, and what pushed him to this point. You know what I mean? Ice Cube's very loyal. He's a very loyal motherfucker. He's a Crip himself. A lot of people don't know he's a Crip. But he got his 3-point star right under his eye. That's what those 3 dots are. Those are not beauty marks. Those are a 3-point star, representing that he's a Crip. Eazy-E's a Crip. And so then that's when Dre started seeing all the bullshit, because Ice Cube was in Dre's ear. Yo, bro, I mean,
Dre sticks to producing.
I always thought, man, Ice Cube seemed pretty chill, though. I thought
it was in his ear. Nah, because he was still calling. These motherfuckers were still each other after that diss track. You know what I'm saying? And it was, Cube is the reason why Dre left NWA.
Yo, bro.
Yo, you know what's funny too? They said they rumor has that Ice Cube know what really happened to Tupac, but he just too scared to tell.
Huh?
It's rumor has that Ice Cube knows what really happened to Tupac, but he just too scared to tell.
Go ahead. I heard somebody got to do something. Go ahead. I heard slightly Tupac rumor.
Rumor has that Ice Cube really knows what happened to Tupac, but he just too scared to tell.
He's not scared to tell. He's smart enough not to tell. And it was already told. It's told. The truth is out there. The person that killed Tupac is the one that they stomped out in the club.
Damn.
And they killed, but they got the green light with the police. The police did help.
Yeah, of course they helped. Yeah, they helped. Yeah, and the Illuminati too, and the gangs too.
They helped with the whole shit. Now, let me tell you something about Tupac. A lot of people don't know Tupac was repping. Tupac was a GD. And he was in there with Bloods and Crips out in L.A. And so that's when he brought the Outlaws with him. He brought the Outlaws because Outlaws is a set under GD.
Tupac was a hothead, man. Pac was a hothead, man.
All that come up. He was a hothead, but he was a hothead for a reason and with a direction. He wasn't a hothead whereas this guy's just gonna blow up at any moment for no reason. No, he blows up with direction. And what we was, if you guys remember, slightly when we was in that other session when I started talking about hate, and when that whole hatred came up, Tupac explodes because of hate. He doesn't explode for nothing else. So he was going crazy basically over the hatred that was being exercised. You know what I mean? So when anybody is being oppressed in any fashion, no matter what your skin color is and no matter who you are, that's when it's an oath that we took. Equality. We have to protect. It's an equality and protection oath. You know what I mean? So I can't sit there and watch a Latin king get jumped by fucking 10 Bloods. It's not happening, bro. That's not, nah. shoot the fair one, and I'm out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So if somebody's exercising hate, if somebody's like really trying to tip the scales, that's when I gotta step in. That's an oath that we took. That's what we live by.
Well, then that one guy named Suge Knight, he was a hateful bastard. Why did Tupac kick around him? Was it because of the money?
Music industry, money-wise. And it was strictly the money-wise because Tupac was getting basically taken over by different executives. He was jumping from label to label, not getting his bread, you know what I mean, taken advantage of, things of that nature. He had nobody looking out for him. Shook came around, and Shook came around with that whole big brother, look out for you type of mentality. But, you know what I mean, he kind of tried to bully it, but
damn it.
The thing, the way with Tupac, he never got bullied. Like, Shook couldn't talk to Tupac the way he talked to other people. So like in Dre also, don't get it twisted. Dre never got punked. When you go into death row, that shit really did happen. Like they would have Bloods, they would have Crips in there, and they'd be in there beating up people. They'd have the biggest motherfucker like pushing 10 plates. They'd have him in the room acting like a little bitch. That shit really went down. But that shit didn't go down with Dre or Tupac. Snoop should try to flex his muscles with Snoop a couple times, but Snoop always had the dog pound, which is all Crips. They were all Crips, and they were doing their thing. So Suge had to respect Snoop and his crew. And what a lot of people didn't realize and know about, that wasn't Snoop's bodyguard that caught that murder. If that murder was the case, that wasn't Snoop's bodyguard. That was actually Snoop that killed the dude.
Damn.
Snoop was actually still out there catching bodies and still wilding. He was very much active as a high-ranking Crip member when he got into the industry. Because you gotta remember, Dr. Dre has ties to the Crips. The whole NWA's Crips. So they got ties into the Crip community. And so that's how Dr. Dre was able to go into the hood, find Snoop in Long Beach. Because not just anybody could, like, you know what I mean? You gotta remember, even though you're a Crip, Crips got beef with each other.
But wait. I thought Snoop used to mess around with the Death Row crew, and weren't they Bloods? The Death Row members, weren't they Bloods?
Yes, Sugar's blood. But you had Death Row was split in half, Crips and Bloods.
Oh, okay, all right.
You gotta also remember, Dr. Dre had just as much ownership in Death Row as Suge did.
But
Suge wasn't a producer. So Dr. Dre was actually making more money than Suge. With that label, Dr. Dre was actually making more money than Suge. And that's why Suge was so active with the Bloods and the whole strong-arming aspect of the industry, is because he wasn't making that much bread as Dre was, because Dre's putting out producing hits, executive producing hits, along with owning the label. So he's paying himself, like he's getting paid, and then he has to cut himself 3 more paychecks out of his paycheck. Suge has to cut Dr. Dre 3 paychecks out of his paycheck.
Alright.
Because Dre owns the label plus works for the label. Suge only owns the label. So that's why when you got more slashes on your name in the in the music industry, you make more money. That's why you see Kanye doing everything. He'll rap, the producers, and the engineers.
I heard.
The engineer makes more money than the producer. The producer gives you the vision. This is what I'll break it down. The producer has the vision. So the producer can hear a beat. Like I got a beat in my head, and it sounds like you got an engineer is the actual person pressing the buttons, put that together. And the producers, yes, that's it right there. That's the sound. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I was hearing. But you got the engineer doing this. And if you guys want to see more of that breakdown, watch the movie Hustle and Flow.
Yeah, I heard about that film.
Anthony Anderson's the producer. Anthony Anderson's the producer, the mind behind the music. The lyricist is the artist, the front man. That's Terrence Howard. The engineer was the white boy, pressing the buttons, putting the beat together. And that's when he found the beat. Anthony was like, nah, keep it going, you're almost there. And then they found that beat. And that was the white boy. He's the engineer. He's the one making the most money out that room, because he's the one actually pushing the buttons. The executive producer is the one putting the money up to fund the project outside of the label putting money up. So whenever you see anything, movies, music, and you got an executive producer, they put money up to help invest into the project to make the project much more expandable. Bigger budget, for example. You don't got just the studio or the label putting that bread up. You got outside investors also putting that bread up that's making that money. But they're also the ones that make the money first before the artists. And that's why when you guys, you know, we was talking about Chubb Rock and all them, we go back in those days with the record industry, and you can hear rappers talking about, I made my 18 cents. Yes, rappers only made 18 cents off of each CD that they sold. Even though the CDs were being sold for $20, rappers were making less than $1.
Damn.
You have to pay all these people out first. And that's why you had rappers out there, you know, catching cases, robbing motherfuckers, really out there wilding. Like back in the day, old school rappers, broke. You find out motherfucking, who was it that was really fucked up in the game, and they used to have some hits like
DMX,
Young Money, Young MC. He was fucked up in the game, and he was a writer and a producer, and he's fucked up in the game. There's a lot of MCs from back in the day that's fucked up because of the contracts that they sold, that they signed to. And that's why it was a whole push of owning your own label. You didn't have to be forced to sign these contracts for cents. Or go to an independent contractor, independent dispute. Who was it? Koch for a while was paying motherfuckers like $4, $6 a CD because they were independent distributor. And they were able to beat, you know what I mean, label prices. But yeah, the game is fucked up.
So I could tell, man, shit, especially when shooting like all up in people's business. That guy was very, very violent, man.
Yeah, I mean, look at when 50 Cent first got signed. 50 Cent came out dropping mixtapes, right, making his own music. So he's making his own money. He got the eye in the ear of Columbia Records. So he signs to Columbia Records. Columbia Records gives him an advancement of $75,000, right? Out of that $75,000, after he had to pay everybody because Jam Master Jay set up the whole thing, so he had to get paid. Lawyers had to get paid, right? And he had to pay back for studio time. Guess how much money 50 Cent got in his pocket after that, when he got that $75,000?
How much?
How much money he actually got to keep? $5,000.
Dang.
He only got to keep $5,000 out of that 75. And that's why when you follow 50 Cent's career, you see that he got signed to Columbia Records, but then he went back to the streets. He was out in the street and he was still selling mixtapes. And then that's when he got shot up. And then Columbia Records dropped him. And that was the whole reason why he got shot up and he was out in the streets still, because Columbia Records didn't give him no money to survive. And that's when he went back to mixtapes until Dr. Dre and Eminem came to him. And so then when they sat down with 50 Cent, like all the other labels did, 50 Cent sat down with every label before he signed to Dr. Dre and Eminem. And the only reason why he signed to them is because they came to the table with $1 million cash for his pocket. Meaning that they paid out all the other advances, all the other requirements that they had to pay out, and then put $1 million in his pocket.
I'm surprised, man.
That's why he signed to them.
Hello?
Oh, you're back.
I'm surprised that nigga freaking SZA ain't shoot 50 Cent.
Who?
SZA. I'm surprised he didn't shoot 50 Cent. Didn't he get shot like 9 times years ago? I'm surprised that wasn't SZA himself doing that.
What do you mean?
I thought SZA didn't like 50 Cent. Like, remember 50 Cent got shot like 9 times?
Yeah.
I was surprised that wasn't SZA himself.
He was responsible for it. You'd be surprised who's responsible for it.
Was it SZA? Was he responsible for that?
Nope. Suge Knight had nothing to do with 50 getting shot. The person who was responsible for 50 getting shot is actually a rapper. He actually made a couple songs and an outro on his albums about it. Before he had 50 Cent shot, he gave 50 Cent a fair warning on an album with his government name. That's how crazy the motherfucker is. And then, so then they shot him. They shot him, and then they dropped another song explaining we're the ones that shot you and had you shot, basically. And he had his little mans get on the mic and drop the whole shit talking about the shooting. And then when he got on the mic, he talked about getting pussy. That's how crazy the motherfucker is.
Jesus Christ.
He's from New York, too. He's from New York. He'd be in the projects, all that. Still making millions and still be out there in the streets in the projects. It's wild. And I respect him, I fucks with him. You know what I mean? I like his music a lot. I just don't like the fact that he does drugs. That was the one thing I didn't agree with him and the rest of his crew. And I'm gonna just say the crew name. The crew name is Wu-Tang.
Damn.
Yeah, motherfucker from Wu-Tang had 50 shot. Ghostface Killer. To the point, 50 sent him a bottle of, when they finally appeared in the same area, same building, 50 sent him a bottle of champagne asking him to squash it. Are we good? We cool. Please, can we just put this behind us?
Okay.
After getting shot. That's why he never responded. And you never heard 50 talking about, I got beef with the person that killed me. I mean, he had beef with Hamo, the actual...
You know something? Had that been Tupac, I think Tupac would have retaliated, man. I think he would have done something about this.
Word.
Yeah.
Ghostface, if you could, Ghostface on the Supreme Clientele album, his second solo album, you listen to the outro, he'll tell you his government name, Clyde Smith. He's in Rikers Island at the time on the phone, so it's being recorded twice by the government and by somebody else to put it on his album. And he tells you on Supreme Clientele, he says 50 Cent. He says, I know why everybody didn't come in here and bark on you and try to snatch you off that little iceberg t-shirt you got in that little Rolex chain, but for saying my name, and it's because of the song How to Rob Industry Niggas. He says Ghostface and Raekwon's name in there. And he said it, he says, yo, just cause you said my name in that song, I'm gonna have these niggas done unto that.
Damn.
Come up in here in Rikers Island, I'm gonna have 300 wounds on you. And this was when he was about to catch a case. 50 was in all that trouble. This is why 50 snitched and Carter put the protection order so he didn't go to jail. That was why he did that. Because if he went to jail, 50 was good as dead.
Damn.
Because he had fucked with Ghostface. And so Ghostface sent Hamo after him. Because Ghostface was in with Supreme and all them. You feel me? He's really big. He's a real big time dude out there, like doing some shit. And he talks about it a little bit on the mic, but not too much. But yeah, shit he says is real, some real shit. So he, you know what I mean? Like I said, he was involved with all that when 50 dry snitched on Supreme and Prince. That was what put it over the edge. But 50 saying Ghostface's name was what really sparked it. And so boom. And like I said, he says it in the outro. I'm gonna handle that situation. And then when you listen to his next album, Bulletproof Wallets, the song's named Strawberry. Like I said, the song's gonna start off with somebody that you guys really ain't familiar with. It's one of his younger dudes. He's gonna rap about 50 Cent in them, and he's gonna tell you, Guerrilla Unit. He says it. They go by Guerrilla Unit. He says, look at who's vested up from head to gut. You should have seen my two Ninas beaming. They had him coughing and bleeding. Son, he was dodging and wheezing. One shot nearly took his cheek off.
Damn.
Said it clear as day in the song. And then like I said, when Ghostface trying to get on the song, he in the room, they do this little intro where you can hear he in the room, he's like, yo, Tony in the room, he's banging on the door, yo, Tony, yo, so he's in there getting his dick sucked. You can hear the bitch slurping and burping.
Oh,
and
man.
then Ghost gets on the song, starts talking about having sex. Like, that's his whole shit on the song. Like, basically, 50, you're too below me. You know what I mean? I'm not even worried about you. I already have my mans hit you. I have my little mans talk about it. You're below me.
Damn. Yeah, I heard some of these rappers were full of it, though. I heard like Tupac wasn't really about that. I heard some of these rappers were like full of it, though. I heard like Tupac wasn't really messing around with those games. Those were lies, I heard.
He was, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
So the thing with Tupac, and the reason why Tupac was respected so much is because Tupac played his position. And Tupac's position was to be a storyteller. All right, he was here to tell our story. So, for example, you have a couple brothers that been through situations. Like Brenda had a baby. That was a real situation about women. And it wasn't about one particular girl, it was about a bunch of girls. And that was just the reality for a lot of women at that time. And so he made a song about it to bring awareness to it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see death around the corner. He lived that life. He felt that. You know, he grew up in the environments. He was born in the Bronx. He moved to Baltimore, and then he was in